Imagine this. You wake up one day, older, slower, and hollow, and it hits you like a freight train crashing through your soul. You've spent 35 years chasing ghosts, chasing approval, chasing comfort, chasing distractions, lying to yourself, numbing yourself, wasting time. You climbed the wrong ladder, only to find it was leaning against the wrong damn wall. The sick part? Most people live their entire lives this way, and they die never even knowing it. But not you. Because right now, you have a choice. This isn't just another video. This is your reckoning. I'm going to tell you the raw truths I learned the hard way, the lessons I bled for, the ones that rewired me from the ground up. You can walk away and waste another decade like I did, or you can absorb this like it's oxygen and burn your excuses to ash. Let's begin. 1. Your mindset is your cage, or your weapon. For decades, I blamed the world. I thought I needed more talent, more luck, a better hand dealt. But the only thing broken was my mindset. I was the one chaining myself down with doubt, fear, and cowardice. The world didn't hold me back. I did. Your thoughts are not just whispers in your head. They are blueprints. They are orders. They are destiny. If you tell yourself you're stuck, you'll rot in place. But if you choose to believe you can evolve, grow, and dominate, the world will twist to fit that belief. Your mind is either your prison or your battlefield. Train it like your life depends on it. Because it does. 2. No one is coming to save you. That mentor, that relationship, that lucky break, they're not coming. I used to sit in the dark and wait for someone to rescue me. Spoiler alert, no one did. Because no one can. You were born into this war zone with 2 fists and a mind. That's all you need. Your dreams, your goals, your future, it's on you. And every second you wait is another nail in the coffin of who you could have become. Get up, take the wheel, stop crying for help, and start carving your path through the chaos. 3. Motivation is a liar. Discipline is a killer. Motivation feels good. It's easy. It's a warm bath in a burning house. I waited for motivation, like it was some holy fire that would light me up. But it never stayed. It came and went like a ghost. What saved me was discipline. Doing the work, especially when I didn't feel like it. Especially when I was tired. Especially when I wanted to give up. Discipline is sacrifice. It's war. It's bloody. But it's the path that builds unbreakable men and women. Build it. Or break. Your call. 4. Small daily cuts. Create legends. You want to change your life? It doesn't start with grand plans. It starts with small, boring, ruthless consistency. 1% better every day sounds like nothing. Until a year passes. Then you're not the same person. You're a beast forged in repetition. You want to read more? Open the damn book. You want to get strong? Do the 10 push-ups. You want success? Show up daily, no excuses, no mercy. The world doesn't reward the explosive. It bows to the relentless. 5. Failure is your brutal teacher. Learn or die. I feared failure for years, until I realized it was a disguise. Failure is not death. It's your coach, your compass, your crucible. Each time you fall, you're being sharpened. Each mistake, a lesson. Each setback, a step forward if you have the guts to learn. You either fear failure and stay soft, or you embrace it and become dangerous. Those who can't fail, can't grow. And those who can't grow, get left behind. 6. Your habits will either crown you or kill you. Your goals are lies if your habits are trash. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your patterns. What are you doing every day? Scrolling, complaining, running from discomfort? Or are you building, training, sacrificing? Every tiny action is a vote for the person you're becoming. And trust me, you're becoming someone. The question is, who? 7. Your circle is your mirror. Break it if you must. You want to see your future? Look at your friends, surrounded by the lazy, the toxic, the small-minded. You will sync with them. You need killers around you, builders, visionaries, people who tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. If no one around you is leveling up, you're not in a circle, you're in a cage. Break out, find warriors, or walk alone until you do. 8. Without health, you're just a dead man walking. I ignored my health until it screamed at me. The late nights, the garbage food, the stress. I wore it like a badge of honor until my body betrayed me. Listen, if you can't breathe, you can't fight. If you can't think clearly, you can't win. If your energy is gone, your life is already on fire. Fuel your body. Guard your mind. Prioritize recovery. Because when the real storm hits, only the strong survive. 9. Money is a weapon, not a god. Money is not the prize. It's the fuel. Chase it blindly and you'll lose yourself. Use it wisely and you'll build empires. Earn it. Invest it. Multiply it. But never worship it. The goal isn't just to make more. The goal is to become more. So money becomes a servant, not a master. 10. Start now, or regret forever. You're waiting for the perfect moment. Let me tell you something brutal. It's never coming. You will die waiting. There will always be fear, always be doubt, always be a reason to wait. But if you start now, if you take messy, ugly, imperfect action today, you begin the transformation. You begin the war. And one day, your future self will look back at this moment and whisper, "Thank you for not being a coward." Final warning. These lessons took me 35 years to uncover. But you have a head start. The question is, will you waste it? The truth is simple, brutal, and inescapable. Nothing changes unless you do. Pick one lesson, just one. Burn it into your soul and take action. Daily, ruthlessly, without compromise. The life you want is not a fantasy. It's a reflection of your habits, your mindset, and your decisions. No more waiting. No more wishing. Get up. Get to war. And become the version of you that never has to wake up with regret. Lesson 1. Rewire your mindset. Become the architect. Your mind is your master until you take control. Then it becomes your weapon. Core premise. Your external life is a mirror of your internal beliefs. Before you ever change your habits, your income, your body, your relationships, you must go to war with the voice inside your head. Because that voice, that inner dialogue you barely notice, it shapes everything. Truth bomb. Your mindset isn't passive. It's programming. Every time you say, "I'm just not good at that," that's just the way I am. I could never do that. You're not stating facts. You're casting spells on yourself. Your subconscious is always listening, always obeying. If you believe you're doomed, you'll sabotage every chance you get. But if you shift that belief, even slightly, your world begins to bend in your favor. You don't need magic. You are the magic. You've just been trained to forget it. Rewire the blueprint. Action plan. Step 1. Identify your mental prison. Grab a notebook. Write down the top 5 negative beliefs you catch yourself repeating. Examples. I'll never have enough money. People like me don't succeed. I'm not disciplined. I always mess things up. I'm too old, too late. If you're honest, this list will hurt. That's good. Pain is data. Truth is power. Reverse engineer the code. For each belief, write the opposite. Something empowering, but still believable. Example: I'm not disciplined. Discipline is a skill, and I'm building it day by day. I always fail. Every failure teaches me exactly what I need to win next time. These are your new commands, not affirmations. Reprogramming. Step 3. Build your mental arsenal. Daily ritual. Every morning, look in the mirror and speak your new beliefs out loud. Yes, out loud. Why? Because the mind responds to repetition, emotion, and certainty. When you speak with authority, your subconscious listens, and your job now is to make that voice stronger than the one that's been lying to you your entire life. Step 4. Change your language. Change your life. Words matter. Every time you speak defeat into existence, you're reinforcing a reality you don't want. Practice this. Instead of "I can't," say "I'm figuring it out." Instead of "I failed," say "I just learned something powerful." Instead of "I hope," say "I will." Monitor your language like a soldier watching for landmines. Your future is hiding in your vocabulary. Step 5. Expose yourself to new mental inputs. Your environment feeds your mind. If all you consume is negativity, gossip, fear, and junk content, you'll think like the average, stay average, and die average. Instead, read mindset books. Start with Atomic Habits, Mindset, The Power of Now. Listen to audio from people who think bigger than you. Watch content that sharpens your mind, not numbs it. This isn't optional. It's survival. Journal prompts for reflection. Write the answers in your journal each day for the next week. What belief is holding me back right now? Where did it come from? And is it even true? What new belief would serve my future self better? What action can I take today that aligns with that new belief? Dark truth. Your old mindset wants you dead. Your mind will fight you when you try to change. It will whisper, "This is stupid. You've tried before. You're wasting your time." That voice is not your friend. It is your program past, fighting for control. You can either silence it or be ruled by it. Your mantra for this week: I don't believe everything I think. I choose my beliefs, and I choose to believe in my own power. Say it in the mirror. Every damn day. End of lesson. Challenge. Write down your old identity, the limiting version of yourself. Burn it, rip it up, or throw it out. Then write your new identity. Someone who believes in themselves and is committed to growth, no matter the cost. Post it somewhere you'll see it daily. Lesson 2. Take ruthless responsibility. Stop waiting. Core premise. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no lucky break. The world owes you nothing. You either take control of your life or stay shackled to the lie that someone else will do it for you. Most people live in a mental coma, waiting for external permission to move. They wait for signs, motivation, the right time. Meanwhile, life doesn't wait. It burns through your years without apology. You are not a victim. You are not powerless. You are the cause. And until you own that, you will suffer. The truth you've been avoiding. Every excuse, every blame, every delay you've justified, those are the reasons you're stuck. My childhood was hard. I don't have the resources. They never gave me a chance. I'm too old. It's not fair. All of it might be true, but none of it changes the fact that your life is your responsibility. Hard truth. No one is coming. Not today. Not tomorrow. If you keep waiting for someone to pull you out, you'll die exactly where you are. Radical ownership, the foundation of power. When you stop blaming, everything shifts. Not because the world gets easier, but because you stop surrendering your power to it. Ownership means this: everything in my life is my fault. That sounds harsh until you realize it's the most liberating truth you'll ever embrace. Because if it's your fault, then it's in your control. And if it's in your control, you can change it. Stop begging. Start building. Every second spent complaining is a second you could have spent creating a solution. You don't need permission to change. You need action. Don't have time? Cut distractions. Don't have support? Walk alone. Don't have money? Start small. Don't know how? Learn. Every excuse has a counter. The question is whether you're willing to pay the price of progress or cling to the comfort of blame. 3 deadly waiting traps. The savior complex. Waiting for someone to give you an opportunity, a break, a miracle. Here's reality. If it hasn't happened yet, it won't. You must create the door, then kick it open. The someday syndrome. Someday I'll start. Someday never comes. There is only now. Every day you delay is another day you dig your grave. The justification lie. I'm not ready. You will never be ready. You will never know enough, feel enough, or have enough. The only path is forward, while afraid, while unprepared, while bleeding. The action plan. Step 1. Own one area of your life fully. Pick one part of your life. Your health, your finances, your mindset, your relationships, and take full responsibility. No excuses. No blaming. You created it. Now you fix it. Write it out. What area of my life is broken? How have I allowed it to stay broken? What am I going to do about it this week? Step 2. Eliminate external blame. For 7 straight days, catch yourself every time you blame someone else or an external force. When you do, stop, breathe, and ask, how am I responsible for this outcome? Then take action. Step 3. Execute a no permission day. Pick one day this week. That day, act without waiting. Don't wait for approval. Don't ask if it's a good idea. Don't hesitate. Do the thing you've been putting off. Make the call. Send the message. Take the step. You don't need permission to change your life. Just courage. Mindset shift. Stop saying, I can't because I'm waiting until they won't let me. Start saying, it's my fault, and that's my power. No one is coming. That means I'm in charge. If I don't fix it, no one will. Journal prompts for reflection. Where in my life am I still waiting? What am I afraid will happen if I take full responsibility? What would my life look like if I acted like no one was coming to save me? What small action can I take today that would prove I am in control? Dark reminder. Every second you spend waiting is a second you could have been building. You don't need another sign. This is the sign. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. You don't need to be saved. You need to awaken. Let today be the day you stop waiting. Let today be the day you take control. Ruthlessly, unapologetically, permanently. Your life is your fault. And that means your life can be your victory. Now go earn it. Lesson 3. Build discipline. Slay the comfort demon. Core premise. Discipline is the foundation of greatness. Motivation is a liar. It promises everything, delivers nothing, and vanishes when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, is what separates the dreamers from the doers. the weak from the unstoppable. You will never reach your potential relying on how you feel. Because the truth is, most days, you won't feel like it. And if that's the standard, you've already lost. The seduction of comfort. Comfort is the quiet killer. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It tells you to rest a little longer. It tells you to start tomorrow. It tells you you've done enough for today. That voice is the enemy. It is the comfort demon. It doesn't want you dead. It wants you comfortable. And comfortable people never build anything worth remembering. You can have excuses or results. Never both. Why motivation will always fail you. Motivation is emotional. It fades. It's like trying to build a house with smoke. Discipline is action in spite of emotion. It's doing the work when you're tired. It's showing up when you're uninspired. It's pushing forward when everything inside you wants to stop. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. That's why it works. Discipline is a skill, not a trait. You weren't born disciplined. No one is. It's trained, forged, beaten into shape through repetition and resistance. Just like muscle, it grows when challenged. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, you feed the fire. Every time you push through discomfort, you sharpen the blade. Discipline is not something you hope for. It's something you build. The 3 pillars of ruthless discipline. Clarity. Discipline dies without a clear target. What are you committed to? Be specific. Vague goals produce vague action. Commitment. Decide once. Execute daily. Discipline thrives when the decision is made before the feelings show up. Consequence. No real change happens without pressure. Attach a consequence to failure. Make it cost you something. Comfort must be punished. The action plan. Step 1. Choose one discipline worth bleeding for. Pick one area of your life. Fitness, business, reading, creating. Something you've been avoiding. This is your training ground. Now define your non-negotiable action. One daily behavior. One commitment. Examples. Wake up at 5:30 a.m. and train. Write 500 words every day. Read 10 pages of a book every night. No junk food for 30 days. Write it. Post it where you can see it. Step 2. Set the trap. Burn the bridge. Tell someone. Post about it. Set up accountability. Make it visible so quitting isn't quiet. Now remove the options. Delete the distractions. Prepare the night before. Build the path so it's easier to do the right thing than it is to run. Step 3. Show up for 30 days. No matter what. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel motivated. Wake up. Do it. Even if it's 50% effort. Especially then. You're not training the habit. You're training the identity. The identity of someone who shows up, regardless of how they feel. Mindset shift. Stop saying, I'll do it when I feel motivated. I don't have the energy. I deserve a break. Start saying, this is what I do now. My feelings don't make decisions. I do. Comfort is the enemy. I destroy the enemy. Journal prompts for reflection. Where in my life have I been relying on motivation instead of discipline? What have I quit in the past because I didn't feel like it? What would my life look like 6 months from now if I stayed committed to one habit? Who do I become when I stop letting comfort win? Dark reminder. Your comfort zone is not safe. It's a slow death. Every time you choose comfort over action, a piece of your potential dies. But every time you choose discipline, even when it hurts, you take one step closer to becoming something terrifyingly powerful. Discipline is the great divider. It will not feel good. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because one day, Someone will look at you and wonder how you did it. And you'll smile, knowing it wasn't magic, luck, or talent. It was war. And you won because you showed up. Every damn day. Lesson 4. Master micro progress. The 1% rule. Core premise. Massive transformation isn't built in explosions. It's built in quiet, brutal consistency. Success doesn't come from one breakthrough moment. It comes from compound effort. Small, daily wins that accumulate into unstoppable momentum. You don't need a miracle. You need to stop swinging for home runs and start mastering the art of 1% improvement every single day. Because 1% better today makes you 37 times better in 1 year. But you have to be willing to show up when no one's watching and results aren't obvious. That's the price. And most people aren't willing to pay it. The illusion of big leaps. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week. They underestimate what they can do in a year. Why? Because we're addicted to speed. We want instant gratification. We want six-pack abs in 2 weeks. We want financial freedom overnight. We want deep skills with shallow effort. But the real world doesn't care what you want. It rewards the ones who can grind consistently in silence. The ones who don't get bored doing the same thing every day. The ones who build brick by brick when others are chasing sparks. The power of compounding. The 1% rule is simple. Improve one thing, slightly. Do it again tomorrow, and again, and again. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just better. Here's what happens. 1 page read a day equals 365 pages equals 12 plus books a year. 10 push-ups a day equals 3,650 push-ups a year. $5 saved a day equals $1,825 a year. Invested, that compounds. 10 minutes of skill work daily equals 60 hours a year in mastery. That's not theory. That's math. That's your edge. Small wins repeated long enough create giants. The silent killer. Inconsistency. The problem is not that you don't work hard. It's that you stop. You start strong. You get excited. You make a big goal. But when results don't come fast enough, you quit. You jump to the next thing. You're not undisciplined. You're impatient. And impatience is a death sentence to greatness. The action plan. Step 1. Choose one goal. Strip it down. Pick a goal in your life right now. Now destroy the illusion of perfection and ask, what's the smallest, simplest action I can take daily to move toward it? Examples. Goal. Get fit. Action. 10-minute daily bodyweight workout. Goal. Write a book. Action. 250 words a day. Goal. Learn a skill. Action. 10 minutes of practice daily. Goal. Make more money. Action. Reach out to 1 new lead client per day. This isn't about intensity. This is about identity. Step 2. Create your daily commitment. Make a non-negotiable rule. I do this action every single day, no matter what. Doesn't matter how you feel. Doesn't matter if it's a bad day. You either do it, or you betray your future self. Track it. Mark the calendar. Build the chain. Step 3. Set a 30-day execution window. No dreaming. Just doing. For 30 straight days. The goal isn't perfection. It's presence. Don't skip. Don't explain. Don't negotiate. You are building the identity of someone who shows up, even when the results haven't arrived yet. Mindset shift. Stop saying, it's just 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. I don't see results yet, so why bother? I'll just double up tomorrow. Start saying, small wins build unstoppable momentum. Progress isn't loud, it's relentless. I don't miss days. Period journal prompts for reflection. What goal in my life have I been chasing with unrealistic expectations? What's the smallest consistent action I could commit to that would change everything in a year? What do I fear will happen if progress feels too slow? What would happen if I stopped quitting and started compounding? Dark reminder. The results you want are already within reach, but they are hidden behind the boring, the repetitive, the daily. If you're not willing to repeat small actions with discipline and intention, you will stay trapped in the cycle of starting strong and finishing nowhere. The world doesn't remember those who burn hot and fade. It remembers those who built themselves when no one was watching. And when they rise as giants, built on the backs of 1,000 quiet, consistent days. Start today. Commit to the 1%. And in a year, you won't recognize yourself. Lesson 5. Redefine failure. Use it as fuel. Core premise. Failure isn't the end. It's the forge. It's the battlefield where weak identities die and real strength is born. The world lied to you. It made you think failure means you're broken, unworthy, done. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's a requirement. You either learn to use it, or you become another person who runs at the first sign of resistance. The fear of failing is the fear of growing. Most people don't fear failure. They fear what it will say about them. If I fail, it means I'm not good enough. If I fail, people will laugh. If I fail, I'll feel like I never had what it takes. This mindset is the real prison. Because when you fear failure, you stop trying. You play it safe. And when you play it safe, you start dying slowly, inside. You trade growth for comfort, progress for pride, legacy for mediocrity. What failure really is. Failure is not rejection. It's redirection. It's feedback from the universe that says, that wasn't the way. Try again. Smarter. Stronger. Every successful person you admire failed more times than you've even tried. The difference is, they didn't stay down. They dissected the failure. They studied it. They turned it into fuel. And they used it to come back better. Your relationship with failure determines your destiny. If you see failure as humiliation, you'll avoid it. If you see failure as information, you'll chase it. And the ones who chase it, who run straight into the wall and get back up, those are the ones who earn power. The ones who get sharper, colder, wiser with every hit. Resilience isn't avoiding failure. Resilience is turning failure into your personal training ground. The action plan. Step 1. Rewrite your failure history. Think of 3 times you failed. Write them out in brutal detail. Then answer these. What did I learn from this failure? How did it shape who I am? If I had never failed, what would I have missed? You'll realize something. Your best growth came wrapped in pain. You just didn't see it until now. Step 2. Define your failure target. Pick a goal that feels risky, something you've been avoiding because you might fail. Now do this. Set a goal so bold that failure is possible. Take action anyway. Journal the outcome, not the result, but what you learned. Make it your mission to fail forward at least once a week, because each time you'll walk away sharper, smarter, stronger. Step 3. Build your failure antidote. Every time you fail going forward, follow this rule. Analyze it. What happened? Extract it. What can I learn? Apply it. What will I do differently next time? Failure without reflection is just pain. Failure with reflection is transformation. Mindset shift. Stop saying, I failed, so I must not be good at this. I don't want to try if I might fail. I always mess things up. Start saying, failure is feedback. I'm becoming unstoppable. The faster I fail, the faster I learn. This pain is my teacher, and I pay attention. Journal prompts for reflection. What failure am I still holding on to that I need to reframe? What have I avoided in my life because of fear of failure? How has failure helped shape the strongest parts of me? What would my life look like if I used failure as fuel instead of fear? Dark reminder. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. You're not pushing your limits. You're not risking anything real. You're just existing, safely, softly, quietly. And that's how most people live, fearing the sting of failure more than the regret of never growing. But not you. You're done playing it safe. You're done avoiding the bruises. You're ready to fall forward, bleed if necessary, and rise with fire in your eyes. Because once you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable, and the world fears the man who keeps getting up. Lesson 6. Audit and upgrade your habits. Core premise. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. It doesn't matter what you want. It matters what you do when no one's watching, when you're tired, when it's not fun. Your habits are the blueprint of your future, and they're either building your life or destroying it. If your life is a mess, your habits are the reason. And if your life becomes powerful, intentional, and controlled, that will be because you built it, one brutal habit at a time. You are your patterns. You're not what you say. You're not what you post. You're what you repeat. That one thing you keep doing every day. Scrolling, skipping the gym, hitting snooze, procrastinating. That is who you are. You don't have bad luck. You don't have a lack of motivation. You have destructive routines, rituals of avoidance, indulgence, and stagnation. Until you break them, nothing else will save you. Why willpower isn't enough. Most people rely on willpower, but willpower is a limited resource. It fades. It fails. Discipline is stronger, but even that is rooted in one thing: habitual identity. You need to become someone who doesn't have to think about doing the right thing. You just do it. Why? Because it's who you are now. That's what a powerful life is. It's not about making decisions. It's about having made them already. So your habits run the system on autopilot. The invisible battle. The world isn't ruined by grand failures. It's ruined by silent repetition of small, bad decisions. One missed workout becomes a week. One fast food meal becomes your diet. One, "I'll do it tomorrow," becomes your lifestyle. You don't fall all at once. You drift until you look up and don't recognize yourself anymore. The drift ends here. The action plan. Step 1. Brutal habit inventory. Take 1 hour and write down a full day in your life, from wake up to sleep. What do you eat? What do you consume? When do you work? How often do you scroll, escape, delay? Look at your day like it belongs to someone else. Would you want their life? If not, fix it. Step 2. Identify the anchor habits. Anchor habits are the daily behaviors that create momentum. These are not always massive tasks. They're the keystone triggers that influence the rest of your day. Examples: waking up early, making your bed, training first thing, journaling your goals, turning off your phone for the first hour. Pick 2 habits that, if done consistently, would change everything else. Make them non-negotiable. Step 3. Replace. Don't just remove. Bad habits don't disappear. They must be replaced. You can't just stop scrolling or binge eating or staying up too late. You You need a new behavior ready to override the impulse. Example: instead of scrolling, read 5 pages. Instead of snacking, drink water and walk. Instead of staying up, nighttime shutdown routine. You must interrupt the cycle with something stronger, something that feeds the future, not the weakness. Step 4. Track relentlessly. Start a 30-day habit tracker. Write it down, every single day. You don't need perfection. You need proof. The proof that you are no longer a slave to old behaviors. Track it. Watch the streak grow. Make breaking it painful. Mindset shift. Stop saying, "I'll start when things calm down. I'm just not disciplined enough. I don't have time." Start saying, "My daily habits are my real identity." Every decision compounds, good or bad. If I don't control my habits will control me. Journal prompts for reflection. What habits are silently destroying my progress? What would my life look like if I executed on 3 powerful habits for the next 12 months? Which behavior do I need to stop pretending is no big deal? Who am I becoming through my current routines? Dark reminder. Every day you're casting a vote. Not with your words, not with your dreams, but with your habits. And each vote builds a future, brick by brick, in silence. You either build a fortress or a prison. You either become disciplined or delusional. You either take control of your systems or become a slave to them. But make no mistake, you are becoming something. And if you don't like what that is, tear it down, rebuild, and show the world what happens when someone wakes up and chooses to become dangerous again. Lesson 7. Cut weak links. Forge iron bonds. Core premise. You are not just a product of your habits. You are a product of your environment. And nothing shapes you faster or more quietly than the people you surround yourself with. If your circle is weak, you'll stay weak. If your circle is toxic, you'll stay poisoned. If your circle is average, you'll never escape mediocrity. You will never rise higher than the standard of the people you allow close to you. Energy is contagious. So is weakness. You absorb the mindset, attitude, and ambition of those around you, even when you don't realize it. If your friends complain, quit, make excuses, and distract themselves with dopamine. Eventually, so will you. Not because you want to, but because you'll adapt to survive. The brain conforms to the tribe. And if your tribe is broken, your future will be too. You think you're immune? You're not. The law of proximity. You become like the people you spend the most time with. This is not philosophy. It's neuroscience. Your subconscious mirrors the behaviors, language, and beliefs of your surroundings. So ask yourself, brutally, who do I spend the most time with? What are their goals? How do they think? Are they helping me sharpen my edge or dulling it? If you're the smartest, most disciplined, most driven person in your group, you're not in a group. You're in a graveyard. Why most people stay stuck. Most people never grow because they're terrified to leave familiar faces behind. They fear isolation more than stagnation. They'd rather be accepted by the mediocre than be alone while rising. And so they trade their future for a comfortable cage built by friendships that stopped serving them years ago. Cutting people loose hurts, but staying small to protect their feelings will destroy you. You're not here to keep everyone comfortable. You're here to build a legacy, and legacy requires sacrifice. The action plan. Step 1. Conduct a circle audit. Write down the 5 people you talk to or spend the most time with. Be honest. Then answer this for each of them. Do they challenge me? they support my vision? Do they embody the values I want? Do I feel sharper or softer after spending time with them? If the answer is no, distance is the answer. Step 2. Identify energy drainers. Not everyone needs to be cut completely, but some people need clear boundaries. These are the ones who constantly complain, but never change. Mock your ambition. Drain your focus and time with drama, distraction, or low-level thinking. Set limits. Say no. Protect your space like it's your soul, because it is. Step 3. Upgrade your environment. Find new voices. Find new energy. Even if it's virtual. Even if it's temporary. Read books written by warriors, visionaries, doers. Watch content that sharpens your mind, not numbs it. Join groups, forums, communities that stretch you. Don't wait for the perfect tribe to appear. Build it. And until you find them, be your own fire. Mindset shift. Stop saying, "They've always been in my life. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I'll find better people later." Start saying, "I'm not sacrificing my future for comfort. If they can't grow with me, they can't stay near me. My circle is a reflection of my standard, and my standard is rising." Journal prompts for reflection. Who in my life brings me down, subtly or overtly? What am I afraid will happen if I walk away from them? What would my life look like if I spent more time with people who elevate me? How can I start surrounding myself with stronger energy, even if I have to start alone? Dark reminder. Your environment is either sculpting you into something unstoppable or sedating you into staying small. There is no neutral. You either build a circle that calls you higher, or you rot with the ones who stopped growing. People will call you cold for walking away. Let them. People will accuse you of changing. You should be. Because evolution requires isolation. Before you find your tribe, you must walk alone long enough to become someone they would respect. So cut the weak links, forge iron bonds, and never again apologize for protecting your future. Lesson 8. Start now, or stay stuck forever. Core premise. You keep waiting for the perfect moment, the right mindset, the extra time, the clarity. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. The perfect moment does not exist. What does exist is now. And if you don't start now, you won't start at all. Because the longer you wait, the stronger your excuses become. And eventually, those excuses become your identity. You either move or decay. The lie of "I'm not ready." You say, "I need to do more research. I need to feel more confident. I just have too much going on." What you really mean is, "I'm afraid. I'm unsure. I don't want to fail publicly." But guess what? You will never feel fully ready. You will never have everything lined up. And the people who succeed are the ones who start anyway. Messy, raw, uncertain. Waiting for confidence is like waiting to feel strong before going to the gym. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. The real cost of waiting. Every time you delay, you lose momentum. And momentum is everything. Waiting is not neutral. It's regression. While you hesitate, someone else is building. While you plan, someone else is executing. While you dream, someone else is doing. And when the dust settles, the world will not ask how long you waited. It will only see what you built. No one remembers the ones who almost started. Perfectionism is just fear in disguise. Stop calling it planning. Stop calling it preparation. Call it what it is. Fear of imperfection. You think you need a flawless plan? Number. You need to move. You need to bleed forward. You need to let life hit you so you can adapt in real time. The perfect plan in your head is worth nothing. The imperfect action you take today is worth everything. The action plan. Step 1. Identify what you've been putting off. Be honest. What have you been delaying for weeks, months, or years? Starting the business, launching the channel, getting in shape, writing the book, making the move. Write it down. Circle it. This is your target. Step 2. Define the first messy action. Don't ask, how do I finish it? Ask, what's the next physical, visible step I can take today? Examples. Buy the domain. Make the phone call. Schedule the workout. Record the first video. Block off time on the calendar. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be real. Step 3. Set a 24-hour deadline. Give yourself 1 day. In the next 24 hours, the first action must be done. No negotiation. No waiting for the mood to hit. No asking for approval. If you don't start now, you probably never will. Mindset shift. Stop saying, I'll do it when I'm ready. It's not the right time. I need to think it through more. Start saying, action is clarity. Imperfect steps beat perfect intentions. The future belongs to those who start ugly and adjust later. Journal prompts for reflection. What project, goal, or dream have I delayed out of fear? What excuse have I been hiding behind? And what's the real emotion underneath it? What is one action I can take within the next 24 hours to move forward? What would my life look like in 6 months if I took relentless action starting now? Dark reminder. You don't need another plan. You don't need another video, another quote, another book. You need to move. Because the graveyards are full of people who waited. People who had ambition. People who had talent. People who could have been great. But they hesitated. They stalled. They told themselves, not yet. And now, the world will never know who they were supposed to be. That doesn't have to be you. Start now. While it's messy. While you're scared. While your hands shake. Start now. Because if you wait until you're ready, you'll be too late. This is your moment. Not someday. Not when it feels right. Now. To our returning warriors, you already know what this is. You've walked through fire. You've faced the mirror. You've stopped running from the truth. And every time you return, you sharpen your edge. You get colder, clearer, stronger. This isn't just content. It's war prep. And you are not alone. To the new blood watching this, if this message burned through your comfort, good. That means you're ready. Ready to become the weapon they said you'd never be. This is the GrimFace movement. We don't wait. We don't beg. We build. We train the mind. We forge the body. We master the craft. And we do it all in the shadows until the world is forced to see us. So if this hit your soul, subscribe. Not for more motivation, for more awakening. Because this is just the beginning. GrimFace isn't here to entertain you. GrimFace is here to rebuild you. Welcome to the dark side of discipline. We'll see you in the next war.